But first, let's talk about what's hot now. Yamanika is not feeling well. She's under the weather. So look who's here, my pal, Mario Cantone. We always love having you.
I love being here.
Yeah, it's a rough morning because we're all heartbroken, obviously, about what happened in San Bernardino, California yesterday. At least 14 people are dead. I think up to 17 or more injured. And there's such a sense of heartbreak, but also frustration. A BBC report pretty much summed it up, saying, well, just another day in the United States of America. And that's what it's beginning to feel like.
There's been over 300 mass shootings this year.
Yeah, and I mean, when they mentioned
number...
the one last Friday, I'm thinking, which one? Yeah. Obviously the Planned Parenthood, but you become so numb to it after a while.
It's like the new normal, which is so sad to say. This is such a tragedy, and this is our new way of life here in the United States is sickening. Yeah. It's really sad.
There's been 6 in a week, and what we're not talking about is what happened in Savannah, Georgia. There were 4 people killed yesterday. There were 2 mass shootings yesterday in this country, and that got buried because this happened. It's like, how are we reporting 2 mass shootings in one day in the United States of America?
But as you said, the BBC says, and
well, that's the way the world looks at us now.
It says they can't. People abroad look at the United States and can't believe that guns and this happens here all the time, because it doesn't happen abroad all the time. The Paris incident doesn't happen all the time over there, so it's very shocking.
Right. It's so sad, and we do nothing about it. We sit here, we talk about it, we do nothing about it, and we don't have any leaders out there that are leading and telling us what we should do.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting. Go ahead, Mario, make your point, and then I'll...
I mean, I feel like our president is trying to get something done. I think
he says the greatest frustration of his administration is in not being able to do something.
Don't mess with my Obama. I love my president. I love my president, and I'll say it till the day I die. But there was a debate. Didn't the Republicans
shut down a debate about a law that would prevent suspected terrorists of legally purchasing guns in this country, which they are allowed to do. Yeah. If you're on the no-fly list in this country, you can still buy guns here. So this bill would stop that.
It's never going to change. I feel like it's never going to change. That's the petrifying thing. That's what scares the hell out of it.
But it's almost both sides, because that bill's been sitting there in Congress for 10 years. Yeah. And when the Democrats controlled Congress, they also did nothing.
Well, they should have.
So it's their fault too. Nobody wants to quite deal with this. I want to talk about the Daily News, because every newspaper, it's on the cover of every newspaper. But the Daily News, this is very provocative. They have the tweets from Republican candidates for president, all of them saying, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And then the headline here is, God isn't fixing this. Their point being that you talk about, oh, I feel so bad for you, my prayers are with you, but meanwhile you do nothing.
Because there's no action. There's nothing wrong with saying your prayers and thoughts and my heart is with you.
But
if there's no action...
I think so, because I think that in a time of crisis, as a Christian, faith is really important to a lot of people, myself included, okay?
And one's first reaction is usually, my thoughts and prayers are with you,
And I don't think that they're mutually exclusive. I think that you can still say, you know what, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I hope that you find solace in prayers and comfort in God in this situation, but let's also enact legislation that stops this from happening, right? You can have both sentiments.
Everything is totally fine, but what I think they're trying to say is that they're sick of leaders speaking in this, like, meaningless platitude. And we're tired of that. We're tired of just saying it and then just moving on. Like, say something meaningful.
You know what I said this morning when we were all talking about this, and I'm like, I don't know how viewers at home feel. I feel helpless a little bit. What do I do? Because I'm pissed off.
Maybe it's the people that you elect.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is ultimately.
People at home, take action. Say something.
But what is the action? You're feeling frustrated.
Tell your senator, vote. Number one thing, vote. When the election comes up, you vote. And if you don't vote, then that's your problem, right?
I mean, everyone that does vote, then they see that no one really takes action on this.
We need to vote for those people who promise that they will.
You've got to vote for people that are going to handle the NRA situation, too. I mean, come on.
Wait, but you're saying it's not going to work. What are we going to do then?
I mean, everyone's just given up hope. Look at every single Republican, what they tweeted out. Everyone's hands are tied on the Republican side by the NRA. It's just what it is. It doesn't matter if you agree for more heavy gun control. As a Republican, you can't speak out against it. That's terrible politics.
Then we need to move.
But can I just say one thing? As far as this headline, look, even in your daily life, prayer is nothing without action, and action is nothing without prayer. So you've got...
But I agree with Atlanta, you can have both.
They go together.
Right.
mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
If you need both, if you need one, you got to do the other. You've got
I
to.
think most Christians do. You know, I think you have conversations in your church, you have conversations in your community, whatever that is about gun control. Talk to people who own guns. Lance, you're a gun owner.
I'm a gun owner.
And you're for stricter gun laws.
Of
Have
course
those
I am. And everyone that I know, my whole family, everyone that is, very Republican and conservative, they're for stricter gun laws. They want this.
California has very strict gun laws.
They do, but it needs to be harder. What
Once
about
they
a
get
license?
into Congress or the Senate, they're controlled by the NRA. What happens?
Why don't we just try something? Like, okay, to get a license to drive a car, another lethal weapon, you have to have a license. Okay, make it hard for me. A written test, a physical test, whatever it takes.
The fact that people who are on that list can legally buy it. Why don't you even start there?